Hi everyone, welcome to the Golden Ratio podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
It is almost always, isn't it, that I join you?
It's rare that I've done a solo podcast, especially since the pandemic began.
Ooh, that one's freighted. That sentence is loaded with meaning.
Yeah, well, we've been together a lot.
I've been able to get rid of you for the last 14 months.
That's true.
You've tried, but I refuse to die.
I mean, keep doing that, not dying.
Yeah, no problem.
I approve.
Oh, yeah.
The cocktail of the week was sent to us by friend of the squad, run_Doc Lisa. I believe Lisa might be a doc, much like I am a doco man. Hey there, guago man.
D-O-C-K. All right.
I am your doco man.
Not quack quack, doc. Mm-hmm.
No, D-O-C as in D-R period.
Got it.
Anyway.
Sorry, that went right over my head. Whee!
Whee! I did not review run_Doc Lisa's CV before this, but she did tweet at me and said, "We created a cocktail tonight that I think you and GR Dad would like. As French 75s are my fave, they're very delish. A French 75 is champagne and gin and simple syrup. Great. We did a Caribbean 75 and replaced the gin and lemon juice with light rum and lime. We Googled Caribbean 75 and it wasn't that recipe, but we think our name fits it better. I think it's a great name." This is like the classic way you do stuff with cocktails. Like, oh, it's got lemon juice. What if you change it for lime juice? What if you change this spirit for that spirit?
Yeah, what if we put, pamplemousse instead of orange
juice? Did you just say something in German?
Yes.
Pamplemousse.
Can't think of grapefruit. Why don't we use grapefruit instead of orange juice? Then it's, from a screwdriver to a greyhound or something, yeah.
GR Dad does sometimes just replace German words with English words, but often he replaces the literal translation of the German word for the English word. So, for example, eggs have whites, and then with GR Dad, there are egg yellows.
Yeah.
Votes. The trash is not your food.
Ugh. Trash can is his foods.
He's trying to stick his head in the, all of our trash cans have lids, and he's trying to stick his head in the lid.
He's had a particularly bad series of days.
Votes. Stop it.
I'm going to put a retainer on that dog. Just like a bite guard. What are those things called at night? Humans have them for teeth grinding.
Yeah.
A night guard. I'm going to give him a night guard so he can't chomp.
Anyway, GR Dad does sometimes say egg yellows, which is the literal German translation of egg yolk. They call them egg yellows in German.
Yeah.
And so he just literally translated English.
Comes to mind. You understand it. It's fine.
I understand.
I could spend an extra 10 seconds searching for the word, but it's just easier not to. I'm going to have to put booze in the trash.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, Doc Lisa, for the Caribbean 75. It's delish. Explore. Any cocktail that's got champagne as an ingredient is a good idea, I think. So, all right. Let's see. Updates for the week. We don't really have... Oh, no. We do have Golden Ratio. GR Dad, are you wandering around? Sit down. We're doing a podcast. He just looked at the kitchen and started walking towards the kitchen. Is everything okay?
I just had to get booze out of the trash can.
I know, but he wasn't in the kitchen, and then you started walking towards the kitchen.
It's a long-term plan.
Oh. Okay. GR Dad, part of the reason our relationship is fresh is that you remain a mystery to me.
I am a man of mystery. What the hell was I going to do in the kitchen? It's a mystery.
You're certainly not going to tell me.
Well, I'm not going to figure it out, let alone tell you.
All right. In Golden Ratio Administrative Corner, we have a new logo.
It's awesome.
It's great. There are two versions of it. One has 3 dogs and a bone, and the other one has 3 dogs and a carrot.
It's more universal now. It doesn't necessarily track individual members of the squad anymore.
No, it's just 3 dogs and some stuff. So we're trying to plug it into every place we had a logo so it'll be consistent across the places. There are stickers and T-shirts and whatever on the merch places.
Step 2 is sue everybody else whose looks like it.
Step 3, profit.
I'm kidding.
So that's that. Thank you to everybody. We had roughly 100 people who submit themselves as potential graphic designers. So it was quite a process for us to narrow it down. I'm sorry that we couldn't respond to everybody, but it was a huge influx of messages. So
Yeah.
is that the cheese walking around?
The cheese heard Voodoo whapping around the big ball, and now the cheese is like interested.
The cheese is about to walk right into a voodoo
Melee.
block battle. He's on the move. This is great.
Man, we're going to have to do the Kong versus Godzilla, and then the cheese just kind of wanders in between them into that ruined city.
So let's do dog updates. Manchego, we're 1 week out. At this time next week, we're going to be gone. Me and the cheese are not going to be here. We're going to be up in Miami at the Hyatt Regency Coral Gables.
Dun, dun, dun.
Swanking it up.
Oh, yeah, that's where the Oscars are next year.
I mean, I don't think it's that fancy, but it's pretty good. It's a very nice place. I was like, okay, we got to, find a hotel for me and Chegs. And so I'm looking for places that take dogs. And then I was like, okay, I've got to do it twice, right? Did you just throw his ball? And go. Focus.
I made a mistake.
Focus on the podcast. We're going to be there for 1 night for this evaluation visit and then 2 nights for the actual surgery. And
some time in between, right? You can't just stay 3 nights.
I mean, we'll be back here in between.
Yes.
Yes, it's not. Right, so there's 2 weeks of visits, 1 night and then 2 nights. So fortunately, on Hyatt, I had 1 free night award, and then I had enough points to get 2 nights, and so all of our stays are free.
That's really good.
Except for the pet fee.
Thanks,
so,
points. Thanks,
yeah.
Past purchases.
I'm gotta say I'm really good with the points.
You are. You're
I'm a
a good
master
job.
with the points.
Seems like everything I do is usually on your points.
Well, I got a lot of points. I'm dwindling the points now, but eventually they're.
Wow.
I have a work trip in like 3 weeks, not even 2 weeks.
Cool.
Middle of April, I'm going
More points.
going to Orlando.
I know
it's not very far.
Sorry, Orlando, but from here it's not that exotic.
But no. Anyway, yeah. So next week we're going up for his evaluation for his eye surgery. So and
That's
if all
great.
goes well, the week after he will have his surgery. So we'll see.
Trying to keep him from eating anything till then. Don't learn anything from Voodoo.
He's not trying to eat anything weird.
Not now, but he's developing so quickly.
Oh,
He's growing up so fast.
this is entirely a fear in GR Dad's head. Manchego has done nothing to suggest he's going to eat anything weird. He's just eating his dinners, and that's it.
He's being a very good boy.
He doesn't even really stand up very much. That's why, like, him standing up and, like, moving around now is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I just think if this continues at this pace, tomorrow he'll be eating stuff.
Your brain is a strange place, GR Dad.
I think we discussed my powerful mysteries.
He also, the vet wanted to do a dental on him, cleaning and scraping and treating everything. Normally the rescue group doesn't pay for that because basically every old dog needs a dental treatment and it's expensive. It's like general anesthesia. But our vet thinks that it may help control his diabetes better because the inflammation or, any infection in there can cause the blood sugar to be high. Is he going outside?
Yeah, sure.
Hang on.
Manchego.
He's turning over new leaves.
Well, at least
He's youngifying. Good job, Manchego.
all right. Let's just sit down there on the concrete. That's fine.
Adventure
Oh
time.
my gosh. All right. Anyway, so our vet thinks it will help his diabetes and his blood sugar control to have a dental treatment. The rescue group has approved that, but our poor vets, there used to be like 10 veterinarians working in the office, and now there's 2 because like people have just left, moved, retired. So they're so backed up. So end of April, he's having his dental cleaning done.
As you said, eyes even first. Eyes before that.
Yeah, he'll be seeing if all goes well. If you would like to donate to the rescue group because they're paying thousands of dollars for the treatment of Manchego, we don't have to pay it, but you can donate to them at great.org/golden ratio is the golden ratio fund at the rescue group. And
Is it linked somewhere on the page somewhere?
I'll put it in all of our bio links. We've got like a link tree now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick it in the bio links. Yeah, so if you click on the bio link, I'll put this in there. And so it's always up there on Great. It's not Manchego specific, just for the rescue group. Because a lot of people, like if we lose a dog or whatever, they want to donate in honor. We set up a sort of separate thing so they know that the rescue group knows that you're coming through us. And
we get points.
Like affection points,
Yeah.
not spendable points.
You're all about the points.
So
karma and ticket to heaven points.
If it makes you feel warm and fuzzy, you can donate to great.org/goldenratio. And yeah.
You too will get ticket to heaven points.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Also, while we're on the website, Linktree, there's the fan wikis on there, which is for anyone who's new, has everything, including German word of the week and cocktail of the week.
Yes, people log all of the stuff. It's great.
It's much easier for us. Thank you.
Yeah, dear Dad will be like, "Have I done this word yet?" And I go,
"Let's search.
Let's check the wiki." It's an excellent place. There's like a guide on how to tell all the dogs apart. There's tons of good stuff up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's there. All the merch is there. If we're in still Golden Ratio Administrative Corner, one thing that we haven't kind of publicly announced yet, but we've been kind of doing in the background, is we have a Amazon like influencer page. And so basically it's just like a little...
Is that really what it's called?
It's literally called influencer page. I know, I log in and you have to click the influencer tab.
I apologize to everyone.
It's just all the stuff we buy for the dogs from Amazon. Because people ask us all the time, like, where'd you get St. Patrick's booties? Or like, what's that kind of treat that you get? Or whatever. Where did you get those beds from? Like, we buy almost everything from Amazon because it's hard to get a lot of stuff down here. It takes forever to ship stuff. There's not a lot of brick and mortar options.
So it's like our clubhouse on Amazon.
Yeah, basically.
With stuff that we've bought for the dogs.
It's all categorized. So there is a podcast equipment category, because people ask me a lot, like, I want to start a podcast. Like, what do you guys use? And I'm like, here, this is this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you do want to start a podcast, you can send me an email to whatever any email address you find for me, and I have a little like form message that I'll send you back that I just kind of copy and paste to everyone, like, this mixer and these microphones and this stand, and I record in this and I mix in this, and here's where you can download this. So it's kind of zero work for me to give you my podcast feelings, because I've got it all saved and I just cut and paste it. And I'm like, here's a form message that has everything you want.
To use the equipment we use, you won't sound as good as your mom, but you won't sound as bad as me either.
Most important, if you click on the links through our page, our influencer page, we get percents, so it helps fund the Waffle Fund.
Stop saying influencer page.
It's literally what it's called, Ingo.
Can we call it something like, can we pronounce it funny or use a foreign word for it?
Just accept your status.
It's fine. It's difficult.
Anyway, yeah, so that's all in the link tree.
Do not eat that plant. No, that plant is not food.
God, he's on a rampage today.
I think rampage is exactly right.
I go downstairs and he has pulled a Coke Zero can out of the recycling, chewed it in half.
This is aluminum, guys.
Two pieces. And I was like, has he eaten some of it? Because it looks way shorter. And so I brought it up and I got my like steel mesh gloves that I use with the mandolin out, because you can't get cut through those. And like smooth out the pieces of the can and fit them back together like a puzzle to confirm.
Very forensic. It was very forensic, that exercise.
And then I walked up to Boots. I was like, I had the gloves on. I'm like, you shouldn't do this. And I like pointed at him, and then he chomped on my finger, and he's like, oh, delish. And he's like, chomp it real hard, and it pulled it out of his mouth.
Well, those gloves will protect you, though.
Yeah, not from crush injuries,
from
though.
Puncture, yes. This is what it reminded me of, the TSSA when they do a crash investigation. They put the plane back together. You put that can back together like that, like it was a debris.
It was a lot like that.
You reassemble the debris.
Oh, Jags, you need some help? Hang on. Hang on, I'll stop the podcast. I'll help you. Hang on.
Very active these days. Even though full moon is over, it seems like there's still some disruptive influence going around. It's you, Voods. You're the disruptive influence.
All right. We have closed the door to the porch, so the Chags will remain now
The
in the
Chags.
house. I think you get credit for Chags.
I started calling them Chags. I feel bad about it, though. I don't know if I'd advertise that.
I think it's cute.
Unprompted.
Chags, that's like I'm kind of my go-to for him.
Okay. He's a
I
good
didn't
boy.
expect it, but there we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other administrative stuff you want to add, Ingo?
No, that's a lot.
It is.
I'm not the administrative logistics type.
So we've also done some dog updates. That's the Manchego update. He's doing okay. His blood sugar is all right. Like, we haven't done another curve since last week. But we did hear back from the vet since the last glucose curve, and she increased his insulin by 1 unit. But I spot checked it yesterday. Like, we got a new bottle, and sometimes if you get a new bottle of insulin, it can be more effective than the old bottle if, like, the old bottle has been mishandled or whatever.
Which is likely. I mean, it's been through time, right? I mean, I brought it down. Yeah.
So we got a new bottle of insulin, and we had increased it. So I did a couple spot checks yesterday just to make sure it wasn't getting too low, though he seemed fine. And I mean, there were a couple times it was in like the 190s, which is great. Like, that's actually in the normal range for dogs.
That's what mine is, probably.
No, yours is not that. Yours is lower than that. But yeah, then it was also, I think I checked it before breakfast today, and it was like 390 something, which is high, but kind of what it's been for him. But he's doing okay with both the new bottle and the new dose.
Yeah.
So we're getting him in line, and he's doing pretty good. But once he can see, I'm just so excited. I'm gonna cry so hard. It's gonna be like a miracle. Like, the dog is blind, and then he's gonna go, stop throwing the ball.
I gave it to Foods.
Okay, maybe that'll solve the problem. Good move. Yeah, so that's gonna be good.
And he's generally in good spirits, right? He's walking around, he's sniffing, and he's very excited always by Foods.
Yeah, he's a mellow boy, but he is, and he lays around a lot, but he's doing pretty good. CBGB started getting all weird this week and like climbing on us, really anxious, which is what he does when he has urinary tract infection. So I took him to the emergency vet, and he does indeed. She's like, his urine was like a snow globe.
Oh my goodness. We don't want to hear, thanks, Doc, but no.
So he's got all kinds of stuff going on. So he's on an antibiotic now, but they sent it out to be cultured. She thinks this is the same vet who had been seeing us up at our regular vet, who now runs the emergency clinic. She thinks he has a thing where his it's on your button. Oh, okay. Your dad's getting up, and the microphone was stuck on his pants. Was he eating your shoes?
He had it in his mouth. He wasn't really eating it.
Foods.
He clearly was thinking about it.
Anyway, the vet thinks that the reason that Brody is getting urinary tract infections all the time, which is very rare for a boy dog, is that he may not be emptying his bladder all the way, which can happen if they have neurological issues that affect their back half. And he's definitely got some stuff going on in his back legs.
Yeah.
So that might be it. So she's waiting for Tess to come back, and is, going to hopefully put him on some medicine to help with that. So that's pretty good. But I think everybody else is fine.
Yeah, we had a weight issue, so now we're changing foods on everyone.
Right,
now we
I
have
forgot
about
about
18 different kinds of foods for our dogs.
So, all right.
This might be / administration
Oh my
too.
God. Part of this is that, like, we've mentioned, like, in the last 4 podcasts, we have a financial advisor now, and I have to compile our expenses. And Hops and Guac have been eating mixes of other dogs' prescription foods just so we don't have so many foods.
And they're both fine.
It's super expensive. So I was like, let's just put them on like the regular, like you can buy it at the store fat dog food. We'll transition them over to that, because it's like then they can eat a decent quantity of it. Your dad's laughing over there. Go ahead.
Because it's called fat dog food.
That's the name of the food. Natural Balance Fat Dogs. So I ordered some of that. So here's our current food situation. Vink is on hypoallergenic food, which Brody came on, but Brody's not on that anymore. He's on the diet food, which Vink had started on.
Brody's on like the good, high quality diet food.
Yeah, he's on like the overweight management diet food. That had been Vink's prescription. Vink is on the hydrolyzed protein, which had been Brody's prescription.
Oh.
Voodoo is on the seizure food. Manchego is on the diabetic food. Hops and Guac are sharing just the regular, you can buy it at the dog store.
Fat food.
Fat dog's food. Not because either of them are fat, but because they, both of them have struggled a little bit with their weight. And so keeping them on that lets them, have a decent amount and not gain weight.
Gives them room for a little snack.
So we have 6 dogs and 5 different kinds of dog food. So our dog food bins, there's one for Hops and Guac now, and then Vink has her own little bin, which Manchego's stuff, his food had come in that we got rid of, his Walmart food. And then we have separate bags for Manchego and Voodoo, and then Brody's stuff is in a different bin. We have different scoops for everybody.
I'm going to have to get a PhD just to feed them properly.
Our cabinet that had chips and crackers and random snack food has been fully overtaken by the dog food, and then there's a whole ass bin of Voodoo's medicine, and then there's a smaller bin for Manchego's blood testing stuff. There's no room. We got to move the crackers someplace else.
That's actually the cabinet that Voods had his head in the other day because it was open a crack.
Yes, if you follow us on TikTok, there's a very funny TikTok of Voods sticking his head in the. Well, I guess I posted the picture of Voods with his head in the cabinet.
He's mostly in the cabinet. It looks like he's just almost always.
When he came out, he had a box of crackers in his mouth,
Yes.
Which are both not keto, thus not Voods foods, and also independently of their keto status, not Voods foods.
Yeah.
We have a lot of dog food now.
Yeah, we also have snack conflicts, right? Because Voods can eat very little but eggs, but Chief Brody's allergic to eggs.
So I made waffles yesterday.
Yeah.
So last night, I was very motivated last night. I was doing all kinds of stuff, and I was like, I'm going to pre-make waffles. So the reason we haven't been doing waffles as often is because we have to make special waffles for Voodoo.
Yeah.
So I made a batch of Voodoo's waffles. So I made 2 waffles, which is 8 segments.
Oh, 2 full waffles. Yeah,
2 whole waffles.
Yeah.
And then I made 4 whole waffles of the egg-free normal dog waffles, and Manchego can't have them yet. And so 1 whole waffle plus 1 of Voods is a serving of waffles. So we've got we've got 4 servings of waffles plus some extra for
in
Voods.
a bag.
In a bag. They're in the freezer, so we can just put Eggos, put them in the toaster. Yeah.
It's too bad our dogs have weight problems. Otherwise, put some freaking whipped cream on there and just let them have it.
So to your dad's point, though, we did a weigh-in this week, and I was noticing Vink is looking a little chunkier. She's really good around 59 or 60, and she's 63 now, so she's put some pounds on.
It's just a bad angle.
No, it's not. She's put some pounds on. I weighed her, and it's I'm like, she's looked heavier. I'm like, oh, she's 63, and Dad's like, well, she hasn't pooped yet. I was like, no, dear Dad, that is not the problem.
She's retaining water. We should have brushed her. We could still brush her.
Yep. So Vink has gained a few pounds. Brody is at 91, which is actually not bad. He's going down. Voodoo, I think, what was he, 95? 94?
5 or 6. Yeah.
Voodoo's doing good. He's definitely losing weight.
Yeah. He's on so little food.
But he doesn't complain.
Luckily, he hasn't talked to the other ones about how much they get yet. But he gets the least mass.
Yeah, he does. So anyway, we kind of worked through all their calories in a checklist. All right, here's how many snacks they can have. I worked out all their calories. But after that, I found these freeze-dried chicken breast snacks. So they have 3 calories per treat, and they're bigger than our regular treats.
They're bigger than Cheese of the Righteous things.
Yes,
yeah.
you can, and the Cheese of the Righteous has 25 or 30 calories per cheese. These are bigger than that, and they have 2 calories. So you can't give them.
Foods can have those
10.
too.
Everybody can have them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So I think we're going to replace all the current snacks with these because the dogs like them. I've been giving them the last couple days, but they're super low cal, and so. The problem is that, they eat a lot of snacks, which adds a ton of calories on top of their food. And for Voods especially, we need them. He won't come.
How much is a carrot? I was surprised.
30 calories in a carrot.
Disappointed and surprised. Sad and surprised. 30 calories is a ton of calories for
when
restricto dogs.
Dogs can't have that many. So, But yeah, these have like, and like each of the like meatballs and stuff, they have like 25 or 30 calories. These little chicken snacks have 2 or 3 calories per thing. So it's like you can give them and not really have to keep
So we should
close
get
track.
like big bags of
We got to
those.
buy like a tub.
Like the
of
food
them,
bags
yeah.
full. Yeah, like 30 pounds.
No kidding. So anyway, that's
Excellent.
good. So we're shifting up the snacks. So dear Dad, feel free to give away the snacks that are in there. But from then on, we're only ordering freeze-dried chicken.
Okay.
Um,
Whatever makes them love us.
they all liked them.
There we go.
Dear Dad was traveling for work when the new snacks, the freeze-dried chicken arrived, but I gave them to everybody and their fans.
Gave one to me.
I even gave one to Manchego because everybody got waffles this morning, but it was right after he had his breakfast. And I was like, I can give him this 2-calorie piece of chicken with essentially with his breakfast.
He
and it's
liked
fine.
it.
He did like it,
He
yeah.
said he would like snacks.
Yeah. All right, dear Dad, I authorize you to give him 1 chicken snack within half an hour of his breakfast or dinner every day.
All right. Because that's sort of within the insulin processing
Yep.
phase.
When you're handing out carrots, you can give a 2-calorie chicken snack to the chicks.
So it's a chicken carrot?
Chicken carrot.
The meat
yeah.
carrot for foods?
Like a meat carrot. Yeah, so that's that. Any other dog
Have we
updates?
formally said what your nickname is for Voodoo and explained it?
Foods?
Or
What else? The pinto bean? People have noticed on the snaps that I call him the pinto bean. I mean, there's no explanation to give. Like, at some point early when we got him, I just looked at him and I was like, you look like a big pinto bean. And he does not actually look like a pinto bean, which is a thing. But I just look at him and my brain wants to say pinto bean. Not like it's his name. It's definitely his nickname. But I do call him, like, my big white pinto bean.
it is very satisfying
You
saying that.
pinto bean. It's very fun to say. It just feels appropriate to him. And so I call him the pinto bean all the time. And you'll, if you pay attention in the snaps, you'll hear me, like, get over here, pinto bean.
There are big white beans, but I don't know what they're called. Big white beans, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, there's cannelli beans.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah. I mean, like white beans that you get.
Big white kidney
They're kind of like kidney beans. Yeah. Cannelli beans.
Oh.
Or cannelli. I think cannelli.
That's not as good as pinto bean.
Pinto bean. Yeah, pinto beans aren't white.
No.
It's just a thing to say.
Yeah.
The pinto bean. I mean, I can't explain how my brain works. Any
Nope.
other dog updates?
Nor I.
Yeah.
You are a mystery to me, too. This is one of the mysteries.
All right, let's do Taste of the Keys. A young Florida teen in the Florida Keys has been charged with several surprising thefts.
It is. That's the youngest you can be and still be a teen.
Monroe County Sheriffs announced the arrest of a 13-year-old boy Friday morning. According to deputies, the boy, who had previously been arrested in Miami-Dade County the week before, was arrested in a stolen car Friday morning. All right, this doesn't have all the details, so let's talk about it. This kid lives on Our Key, Sugarloaf Key. First, he steals a Toyota Corolla from Sugarloaf Key. He probably walks from his house to a neighbor's house, steals a Toyota Corolla, and then he drives the Toyota north
He's
to...
13, first of all.
13.
He's not 16.
And he was arrested last week in Miami for stealing cars.
No, it just drops that, oh, by the way.
So he drives up to Big Pine Key. There's a credit card in the Toyota that he steals, and so he uses it at a gas station. And I was like, how nice of him to fill up the car, but I'm sure he was buying like Monster Energy drink or something. So he drives up to Big Pine Key, uses a stolen credit card to buy some stuff. Then he steals a second car and a second credit card, from the gas station on Big Pine Key. Maybe not from the gas station, but he steals a Dodge Challenger from Big Pine Key and then drives into Key West. He gets stopped. Oh, let's be serious.
Yeah. He buys some stuff with a credit card there too, I think, right?
He drives to Stock Island and buys some stuff with a credit card. And then he's driving, and the sheriff, not a sheriff's deputy, Rick Ramsey, the sheriff of Monroe County.
There's one sheriff.
He's the guy.
It's like in the Wild West. He's Sheriff Ramsey.
He's driving to work
Yeah.
and has heard the radio call,
There's a bolo.
spots the kid in the car and pulls him over.
Yeah.
Of course, a ton of cops respond because the kid has a handgun that he also has stolen
From
previously.
Miami or something, yeah.
Because Gio Dad's reading me the story, and I was like, look, maybe there's just a gun in the car, right? It's Florida.
Someone else's gun, yeah.
You know, he could have just stolen a car that happened to have a gun in it. No. This is a gun that he had stolen previously that he's bringing around with him. So they pull him over, and Gio Dad, you happened to drive past this incident.
I was driving into Key West at 9 and noticed that all the lanes were blocked coming the other way with a bunch of cop cars with flashy lights, and they had someone, you know, on the side in cuffs.
13-year-old, turns out.
Didn't look 13. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then lo and behold, I read the Conch Life, and it's that kid. It's this like kid who just decided to go on a spree. I mean, what a, you know, sad. He seemed to want to get into trouble and get to go to jail.
Well, he was taken into custody, charged with 2 counts of armed grand theft of a motor vehicle, armed burglary, and stealing a firearm.
And that's not even the Miami stuff. That's just that one morning.
Just this stuff.
That's one morning's work. Yeah.
Man. I mean, the kid's obviously got a lot of issues.
And you get busted by the sheriff.
The sheriff on his way to work is like, I'm not just riding a desk. I'm pulling this armed teen over.
That's right. That's like getting something from the president or something,
Man.
except in a bad way.
So anyway, there you go.
That's pretty good.
Yep. You got a German word of the week?
Yeah, it's sort of apropos of nothing. Besserwisser.
Better
Knower.
knower.
Better knower. It means kind of like a know-it-all. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
He's always a besserwisser.
Yeah. I meet a lot of them on Twitter.
He's a well-actually guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It is topical for Twitter.
Where does a mansplainer get his water?
I don't know.
From a well, actually. Good one.
It's a dad joke. I like it.
Somebody, so we're doing all these cameos. Somebody's like, please put a dad joke in the cameo. And I was like, I can totally do that. And so the dad joke is, why do melons get married?
I don't know.
See, I think I told the joke wrong in the cameo too.
Ooh, that's very dad jokey.
It's actually, why do melons have weddings? Because they can't elope.
I mean, I think the slightly screwed up one is even better. Though.
I mean, I think that's what I put in the cameo.
If you want a dad joke one, it's like, here's the punchline, and oh, here's the joke. Yeah.
Not quite right. They can't elope is the punchline. That's actually why they have weddings. You get married even if you do elope, as we have proven.
It's very technical.
Anyway. Send us your very specific requests in the cameos, and we'll make you in Cantaloupe. I was kind of happy with that one.
I'm pretty impressed.
All right. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, it feels weird to do less than 2 hours, but I think that's okay for once or twice.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until next week, or until next time I get your dad to sit down and podcast, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Don't be like voodoo.
Indeed. Bye.
Bye.